Stormwood & Associates is a production of the Nerd and Tie Podcast Network. For more podcasts from actual play to true crime to witchcraft, go to nerdandtie.com or join our community on Discord by finding an invite at nerdandtie.com/discord. Over 100 years ago, the dark wizard Hollowell prophesied his return, but Sheriff Aesop Stormwood swore his descendants would stop him. He created Stormwood & Associates with the sole purpose of defeating Hollowell in the future. It failed. Now the young Raz Stormwood and her friends have been framed for a crime they didn't commit, and they've escaped to the Morris Halata Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive operating on the edge of society. If you have a problem, they can solve it. But don't get in their way, or else you might get caught in the eye of the storm. Stormwood & Associates stars Gen Proc as Raz Stormwood, Nick Izumi as Bill Carpathia, Kyle Johnson as Tristan Babbitt, and Trey Dorn as NK and Kel O'Reilly. Previously on Stormwood & Associates. The Stormwood team is trying to destroy the Stone of Rebirth, so they've taken the Stone of Rebirth and the Tri-Stones of Nikur to the town of Halcyon Williams, where there's a ley line intersection that they can safely destroy the Stone of Rebirth without blowing up like half the West Coast. You know, because that would be the smart thing to do. The town of Halcyon had been abandoned after a incident. Just listen to all 9 episodes of The Meat Grinder and you'll know what happened in Halcyon Williams. The roads destroyed from this former and now abandoned ski resort town. The team hiked over the mountain and have arrived in what was supposed to be an abandoned town because of a quote-unquote chemical spill, was the official story, and met a goblin who claimed to be local but was very unconvincing about it. And apparently leftovers from a transdimensional invading army who had been left behind have been camping out in the abandoned town. The team ended up crashing in a converted former restaurant shared between the goblin they met and a shared between a goblin and a orc who was reading a copy of The Notebook, the novel, not the film. It would be weird to read the movie. And they have crashed on a pile of cushions in a former Thai restaurant in Halcyon. Now, sunlight breaks through the restaurant windows as the team finds themselves waking in the morning on these cushions on the floor in a former Thai restaurant. So what are you guys doing as you wake up?
Bill is inventorying his stuff, making sure he has everything that he needed and came in with.
Okay, so are you just looking at personal items, or are you also looking at, like, the Tri-Stones of Nikur and the Stone of Rebirth?
Checking on those two, and warily, habitually taking the coin out of my pocket and then slipping it back into the pocket.
Oh, yeah. In the previous, I should mention that it turns out the the image on the coin that Bill's brother gave him is the symbol of the Dark Lord of another universe. So that's fun. Raz, what are you doing?
I don't know, probably asking if there's any coffee.
Okay, so the two occupants of the restaurant, between the two of them, Gragnath, the orc, is asleep on, still like just kind of gently snoring on the other side of the room, and Gobbo the goblin is nowhere to be seen.
Then she's gonna take a quick glance around around the surroundings for Gobbo.
Okay, inside the restaurant or outside the restaurant?
Inside first.
All right. So he's clearly not in the dining room. Are you gonna go into the back?
Sure, I'll look in the back.
All right, we'll get to that in a second. Babbitt, what are you doing?
Babbitt has gone into the bathroom to try in vain to make his hair look presentable.
Okay, so there's no power. So, and the place is lit up by like candles and
then not going in the bathroom.
All right, so Bill, you're looking through the stuff. All right, I don't remember. So when you guys went to bed, where you put down the so the Tri-Stones of Nakur and the device that's connecting them was one item, and then you had that in a bag, and then I don't remember how you were transporting the football. Was that in a bag or was it just out?
I think it was in a separate bag.
Okay. All right. So Bill, you're looking through the bags. The Stone of Rebirth's there. That hasn't gone anywhere. Roll me a d10.
Oh boy. Sorry. 8.
Okay. You go to where the Tri-Stones of Nakur were, and when you get to the bag, it looks like they're in there. And when you open the bag, you see the device that they're supposed to be planted into is still there. But the stones themselves have been replaced with just like candle holders.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
All right, Raz, so you go into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty dark in here. There are a couple of like small like glass block windows that like are letting in some light. But it's pretty dark. None of the candles back here are lit right now. It's I'm assuming you're like using your phone as a flashlight or something.
Yeah.
All right. So you do find like a camping stove and some instant coffee.
Mm.
So you could genuinely probably boil some water. And the back door to the restaurant is wide open.
Oh. Where does that lead?
It leads outside.
Okay.
Like it leads out onto like the street. Like it's one of the side street that. So you guys were sleeping in the front half of the restaurant, where it faces like the front end, like the door to the restaurant, the front door to the restaurant was removed. There's an upstairs to this building that you haven't been in, but so the door's removed there, but this is in the back, so it kind of like leads to the back door kind of like leads to like a little, like it's a few like steps up, like there's some steps to go down to the ground level, but it's like just an open street.
Okay.
Just on like it's just on a different part of the building. Then you wouldn't be able to see this exit from the front though, like because you guys are sleeping out in the front of the restaurant, so someone could leave or come in this back door without you being able to see it from the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the team and let them know that, hey, the back door is wide open.
NK is just slowly, groggily, like shaking her head and sitting up on the ground.
And I don't see Gobbo anywhere.
You do not see Gobbo anywhere.
And I assume Bill shares.
As I say, Bill comes in. Hey guys, the stones are gone.
What?
The stones are gone. They have ceased to be. There's nothing in the bag.
Fuck?
Yes.
Gobbo.
Wait, what about Gobbo?
He's gone and the back door's wide open.
God damn it.
Didn't Gragnath warned us about him?
Damn it.
Gragnath is just still like dead asleep, like in the corner.
Okay. So we should probably go find him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, okay. So how did we find the Tri-Stones originally, right? Like every time there was one, we were able to track it down by detecting spooky, right? Like by looking for the magical energy fields from them?
Basically.
So, and we know he doesn't know how to get out of the town yet, right?
Right.
So he's still in town, and these things like put off so much magical radiation that we should be able to locate him.
I think we can pull that off. I've been working on my tracking spells anyway.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me pull that up. Yeah, because you are literally in Gobbo's home. So
Don't worry, dear listener. I am as confused as you are.
Okay, so we're talking about there's a ward, a tracking ward, that if you have an object that the person physically touched, you can use it to, like, it's, if you think about like back to like that the arc, the Sangreal arc, that's how like NK tracked like a person across town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was using one of these. And it's like just by using something that like was handed back and forth.
Nice. All right.
We just need to. Okay, so can we just need to find something in this place that we know for a fact that he's the last person. Well, I don't think it doesn't even have to be the last person to touch it. We just need something he's touched. And then to focus on the target, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah.
He was He made some like weird beverage.
Oh God, I forgot what he made. I did, I didn't listen to I didn't write down his dumb beverage.
But I'm saying like the cup or whatever he drank it out of.
It was soy sauce and something.
Mountain Dew.
It was repulsive. That's what's important.
God. Yeah, there's a glass over there.
Oh, look at this. Yoink.
All right, so you're gonna do a tracking ward?
I am.
All right, so I'm gonna. Obviously, you need to draw out a ward, or something like that. Be it on like your hand or on the ground or anything. I don't know if you're gonna I don't know what Bill's using to like draw out a ward.
I've got a Sharpie.
Okay, just copying NK. Okay,
I learned from the best.
you're the one with like a master's degree. I picked this stuff off the internet.
Yeah, but you've been doing it longer. Practical application means something.
All right, so this is what's gonna happen. This is gonna sound very familiar to people who listen to the Meat Grinder, because I use the tracking ward rules to run the tracking device in that game. So when you cast the tracking ward, obviously it's gonna take a sweep move point, and then you get to roll 1d10. And then how well you roll is going to determine how well you track and for how long you can track. So I've got the rules up in front of me with like the different roll ranges. So roll me 1d10.
All right. 5.
5. Okay. So you can track the target for an hour and you know exactly what direction the target is relative to you at this moment. So as he moves, you will always know what direction he is compared to where you currently are.
All right. Well,
And
okay. I've got an impression of where to go.
Yeah, you know the exact cardinal direction to go. And that is it is to the north and to the west.
All right, northwest.
He is in fact heading
Right.
directly for where you believe the convergence of ley lines to be.
Ah, jeez, he's heading for the ley lines.
Right.
Let's boogie.
All right.
So who's
I got a
carrying
knuckle sandwich with his name on it.
So who's carrying the football and who's carrying the device that you're going to put the tri-stones back into?
I grabbed the device.
I'll carry the football.
Okay, let's go. That's important because it's going to impede, what whoever's carrying the football. That's a big thing. Like I assumed Raz would carry the football because Raz is kind of the. But if our dexterity based like finesse character wants to carry the football, sure.
He grabbed it first.
He did. NK wasn't going to take it. All right, you head out into the cold early morning mountain air of Halcyon. All right. So I'm assuming you guys. So obviously the problem is you're fighting with a street system that doesn't line up in the actual direct direction of the thing you're following. So right now you're at the intersection of two streets, and neither of them are going directly like in the direction you want. The one going west is going slightly south, like is curving south, and the one going north is going slightly east. And you need to go northwest.
Just pick one. We'll get there.
All right. And we're going left.
All right, so you're gonna go. You're gonna go to the one that's going west and slightly south. You're effectively walking more along like the lines of the edge of town. As you walk down this road, to the left of you, there's a river. And this is fun because this is the street you guys never went on in the meat grinder. Yeah, you're walking along. You end up walking along like this kind of like river. Like there's a river walkway to your left, and it's just eerily quiet except for the sounds of like some birds, and because for some reason the birds weren't affected by the zombie plague. I don't know. Yeah, it's here's some birds. It is like it's just eerily quiet in the town. After about like a block, you come to an intersection, and there is a road going north, and the road ends. You could either go south from here, or you can go slightly northeast, and you know that you need to go northwest, but there's no other route.
Okay.
So you've got to go north to like keep going.
We're gonna go north.
All right. So as you go north here, like to the left of you is literally a field as you walk down this street. And kind of this beautiful view of like this field is like the mountains to the left and mountains like if you face to the field, like you see kind of this perfect valley of between the mountains kind of framed around this field. And to
stop and take a photo.
Okay.
Or like I'm walking along and I'm just like, click.
Yeah, it's very pretty. On the right there are like some like small apartment buildings, like buildings that probably only have like, 8 or 10 units in them. And there are many abandoned vehicles. As you get to the as you start walking down the street, and it like you guys are just like walking out in the open for a while, you eventually reach a roundabout, and everybody roll me a d10.
9.
All right.
1.
Everybody but Bill notices that, like, just to the, like, if you look to the right down the street, you see the, like, remains of a giant, like, bonfire, and all of these, like, kind of looks like handmade drums around it. And you kind of notice you're not sure how long that fire's been out.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't see this, Bill.
What are you guys so interested in?
Well, you remember last night there was that orc party we heard in the distance?
Yeah, I do.
NK does that thing. NK does that thing where she reaches over and like turns your head physically to look down the street. I think that's where the orc party was, and I don't know how long it's been abandoned. Like, there's still like some residual smoke coming off of that fire.
That's not good. Oh boy.
So, Bill, you know that it was like right in like front of like this parking lot of like a high school. Was where this fire was.
Okay. Fun.
Also, there's like the remains of like the bones and skeleton of this giant creature there.
Oh.
And Raz, roll me a d10.
7.
That's good enough. Raz, you find on the ground a pair of dog tags that say Kevin.
Oh. Hey, guy. People have died here.
Just giving you all a bookmark for where in town you are. A metagaming bookmark.
Are there any freaking squirrels around? No.
No. The zombie curse has been lifted.
I know.
The wildebeest, however, you know, I mean, it's dead, but all right. So, what you're standing at the intersection, like the roundabout you kind of stopped at, is the it looks like it's the transition from like the town to like a highway, and this goes for so it looks like the place you want to go is like slightly down the like, so you can tell that where you need to go is getting more directly north of you, like you're walking towards it, but the only real route you have right now is the highway. So I'm assuming that's the direction you're going.
Yes.
Yep.
Eventually.
Freaking Gobbo.
Freaking Gobbo. Eventually, as you make your way down this highway, there is a road that goes up to it, because this isn't a freeway, this is a highway. And it says private drive. And that's like the direct way you need to go to like kind of this like this road that leads up the mountain.
Well, who wants to do some mountain climbing?
I don't know if we need to climb. There's a road.
I mean, it's facetious.
We mountain climbed yesterday.
That's true. All right. We're going up the hill. Mountain. Road.
Yeah. We just have to go down the road. The thing. It's right there. All right. And kid just starts walking. Like, there was a gate there at one point, and it's just, like, completely fallen over.
This is really unnerving.
Yeah, there are signs of, like... Oh, sorry, just everybody roll me a d10.
7.
6.
And, oh, come on, 1.
Yeah, Bill doesn't recognize shit. Everybody but Bill. You stumble across, like, some weird stuff, like the remains of, like, some really weird-looking deer carcasses, like, where the teeth look wrong. Like, needle teeth deer carcasses that clearly no one wanted to touch.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, I'm less comfortable with this than I was. Like, I mean, I guess it's been weird the whole time, but you know, not like Bill's dad might be Cal kind of weird, but still weird.
I feel like I'm off my game today, guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, you've been tracking pretty well, Bill. It's been like an hour in world, so you no longer have a fix on the location of Gobbo.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm going to need to re-up my search, because...
Well, I mean, he was like heading for the ley line intersection, right?
Yeah, that was the way he was going. I mean,
So
I
I
hope
think
he's still
let's
headed
just,
that way.
like, right now, like, if we're about to go into something, like, I don't want to, like, burn through all of your magic energy to, like, track a guy where we think we know where he's going. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. All right. Let's keep heading that way then.
All right.
Can't believe that asshole.
Eventually, as you rise slightly in the mountain, you come to a large house with a it's a large house it's kind of, how to explain. So it at one point this was a very large fancy Victorian house. It's 2 stories, but it's gorgeous. At least it used to be. What is there now is the front doors are no longer attached. And it looks like a makeshift barricade had been constructed around the doors. And it looks like there was a makeshift barricade where the doors had been, and part of it's been hastily dismantled. So the large double doors are off, and then the kind of barricade that had been there is partially removed.
I feel like we're not the first people to party here.
There are also quite a few blood smears on the porch. Like old blood, though, like not recent blood. But it's soaked into some of the wood on the railings, and no one's bothered to do that good of a job cleaning it up.
Well, guys, I don't think this blood is fresh. That's a win. Eh?
Guess.
Want me to totally investigate?
I mean, if you want.
I don't know.
I mean, if you, I can give you whatever you want if you want to check it out.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just
It's a
place
5
is
minutes.
gross.
So it
look. I
doesn't
know it's there. It's
cost
just
me
like
anything.
it's all right. So it's clear when you actually investigate around where the doors were that like some of that old blood is also soaked into the doors, and the way it matches up, it looks like the doors were intact and on the building when whatever happened here happened. Like the doors were removed later.
Mm-hmm.
The barricade is, looks like part of it was it's combined of like tables, chairs, like a whole bunch of other stuff. There was some sort of conflict here at some point, and then this is like, you can tell that the barricades have been tested a couple of times. Like there are the damage of like what looks like blades having struck it and other kind of impacts, and then you can tell that they've been like, so this has been, someone has barricaded, and then people have tested those barricades and they've repaired them more than once.
Oh, wow.
Besides that, you do find like some flecks of like embedded in like the wall, the outer wall of the house. You find like some like pieces of a like military helmet that looks like it had been exploded here. Yeah.
So the military's been here.
Well, I will say, okay, so actually on a Totally Investigate, I will say that you'll know it's like military-style gear, but it's not the colors of the U.S. military.
Oh, okay.
It's like this black, like...
Yeah, some kind of SWAT force looking stuff. That's not actual military, but...
But a bunch of idiots.
Furious? Furious, sir.
Hey, those are our idiots, thank you.
Listen to the Meat Grinder. nerdandtie.com/meatgrinder. So that's what you find. That's what you find on a Totally Investigate. It looks like the part that's been dismantled is wide enough for a person to walk through. And you can see into the place. The windows have been boarded up from the inside. The couple of small windows that would have been next to the door have been boarded up from the inside. So there's not a lot of light, but you see like kind of a tiled floor, and like kind of an entry hall.
And the tracking says that Gobbo would be in there?
That's where the tracking was pointing you before we lost it.
Well, who wants to make a house call?
I don't feel like we have much choice.
Hooray.
I'll go in first.
All right. NK follows you.
And Babbitt.
So the hall, so this entry hall, there are doors that kind of lead off into the actual hallways. A double door right in front of you, and then another one off to the right side. The doors, though, are completely wide open. As you look further into the house, you can see that the hallways you see kind of a flickering firelight illuminating them, along with a small amount of sunlight coming from like maybe some windows that aren't quite as boarded up. There's a staircase leading up in front of you to a second level, and you don't. And then there's the hallway goes to, if you're looking at the double door straight, the hallway goes to the left and to the right. And then there's like a set of stairs going up. I mean... NK just kind of puts her hand to the ground. So, Bill, I don't know if you can feel the resonance in here.
Rolled a 9.
Are you detecting spooky for me?
Yes.
Okay, detecting spooky. Yeah, you 100% can.
No, I'm feeling it.
And you can tell that the strongest like point of the ley lines is at the back half of this house, like further into the house. I think we'd want to be on ground level.
Yeah, but, toward the back.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, everybody roll me a d10.
2.
10.
9. I switched out my die again,
Yeah,
can you tell?
Yeah, that's a good move. So I guess everybody but Babbitt, you can kind of hear voices somewhere in the distance. Like there's the sound of people talking, indistinctly.
Wait, was 10 bad?
Oh, you rolled a 10? I thought someone rolled a 2. Was it Raz that rolled the bad roll?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Raz.
Yeah, Raz, you don't hear anything. So Babbitt and
Okay.
Bill, and NK all hear the faint sound of voices. NK kind of puts her hand up and then, okay, that's not a bad roll. She kind of like disappears into the shadows.
At that,
She's hiding.
Raz gets her gun out.
Yeah, Babbitt's also going to try to hide.
Give me your hide roll. Stormwood & Associates is a production of Nerd and Tie. You can find more information at nerdandtie.com/stormwood. You can also find us on social media at Nerd and Tie on Twitter, nerdandtie.tumblr.com, and facebook.com/nerdandtie. This podcast can be subscribed to on anywhere that major podcasts are found: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and quite a few other places, and anywhere that takes an RSS feed as well. To be continued. Hey, while you're still here, let me tell you about another podcast on the Nerd and Tie Network. And that's Let's Be Legendary. Let's Be Legendary, the Fey Wild West, is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play game. So, an actual play game like this one, but like, in a system people actually use in the real world. Set in a homebrew Wild West steampunk world, the Fey Wild West follows two people discovering what it means to be in a relationship, all the while seeking revenge and learning the truth of their pasts. Let's Be Legendary podcast is an LGBTQ+ podcast with both main and minor characters, as well as players falling under the queer blanket. A heavy RP game with a focus on story and characters. And you can hear it every week here on the Nerd and Tie Network, and you can find all of their subscription information and links at nerdandtie.com/legendary.